It seems to have something of a Bluetooth muffler there.
No.
So I don't do a lot of how-to videos, but if you're interested in learning how to spend more money than they're asking, this is your video. So let's see if this thing actually will turn over. I know there's some of you watching that are going, is it REO or REO? Yeah, go get the murderous cat. It seems like it's binding a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
Graphic content warning.
Look at.
I didn't know we got a free ball valve out of this deal.
Look at.
Nope, that's stuck.
My corncob pipe.
No, that is a spark plug wrench for a chainsaw. 6 in a row, ready to tow. Do you guys know how to tell if your gauge collection is too big? I wish there was a way to gauge that.
Ha ha ha. You are so funny.
Crack myself up anyways. Welcome back to another episode of Crossthread Garage and Salvage. I'm Steve, this is Caitlin, and this week we buy the cheapest REO in the country. While I like REOs, I don't actually know anything about them. Guys, when Oppernockety tunes, you gotta go ahead and put all your eggs in one basket. What I'm saying is, when you're on Facebook Marketplace at 10 o'clock at night and the deal of a lifetime comes up, you just go ahead and go to the ATM before you contact the guy. And you get the money you need, and you go home and hook your trailer up, which is what I'm doing right now. So that first thing in the morning, I can call this fella and say, hey, what's it gonna take for me to be the first one in the yard? And if I'm successful in that, then you guys will be seeing this video. Well, there it is, fellas. A slight hole there. Missing a little trim up front. She's had a paint job or two in her life. No door handle. Might be in that bucket in there. 1950 REO. Wish I knew something about it, but I don't. Looks like it's got a 2-speed rear end. Just the way I like to find them. This is REO Motors, Lansing, Michigan. It's a model E-22RS, whatever that means. 126 horsepower at 3,200 RPM. Boy, that'd be just a chooching down the road. The Gold Comet, that's a great name. Yep, there it is, E22. There it is. About to meet the man as soon as he gets here. So the story on this truck, guys, is it was listed for sale with 2 really bad pictures for like $600. And I've been looking for an REO or a Diamond T for years. Not necessarily this era. I would love to have found a Speedwagon or something, but this obviously isn't a Speedwagon. This thing comes up at like 10 o'clock at night. 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I see it on Facebook Marketplace. I message the guy. I get a phone number from him for his dad and he says, call him in the morning. So I called him the next morning, like 6 a.m. and I said, I'd like to come see the truck. And he said, well, I've already got somebody who wants to come see it at 8. They're supposed to call me when they're on their way. I said, well, you're less than an hour from me. I've got money in my pocket because I'd gone to the ATM when I saw the truck for sale.
ATM.
What are you doing?
Emphasizing. I can't just stand here.
So I go get money from the ATM. I tell the guy I want to come see it. He says he's got somebody coming at 8. I say, you're less than an hour from me. I got my trailer hooked up already. Why don't I just plan to come out there? If that guy doesn't like it or doesn't buy it from you, I'll be there to buy it. And just so you know, I'm willing to pay you $800 for this truck. So I don't do a lot of how-to videos, but if you're interested in learning how to spend more money than they're asking, this is your video. So he says, you know what? That sounds like a deal. So he sent me an address. I get there at 8 o'clock. Actually, I got there at 7:50. The other guy doesn't show up. 8:05, I pay him for it. And like 5 minutes later, the dude calls and says, hey, my trailer's hooked up. I'm ready to come over. And the guy selling this REO says, sorry, bud, she's already sold. Look, here's the thing. This truck is worth more than $600. It's worth more than $800. There's a couple of these for sale right now online in the $1,800 to $2,000 range. Fully restored, you know, running, driving. It's a $20,000 truck. But he gave me a starter and a generator for it with receipts for the starter and generator. And the receipts, Caitlin, for the starter and the generator totaled $1,100. So we paid $800 for a truck he was advertising for $600 when he had more than $1,100 just in parts on it, and he gave us the parts.
What?
And I'm gonna say any day of the week you can do that, you should do that, because that's in the nomenclature of the car world, that's called getting a deal.
Life lessons with Esteban and Caitlin.
What do you think, Caitlin?
It's like huge. Like it makes my truck like super tiny.
It's significantly bigger than I thought it was.
It's huge.
When we saw the ad for it, there were 2 pictures in the ad. They were terribly grainy and they were super up close. So I thought this thing was going to be the same size as Caitlin's truck, or about that size, her 41 Ford, but it's not. This is basically a semi truck. And
Quick, give me cheese.
all right, well let's do a little walk around here and see what we're actually dealing with. We brought this thing home a few days ago, but we have not looked at it because we wanted to be surprised with you at what we're seeing. Yeah, the door probably needs a little grease. This thing has been sitting on these tires with, I mean, they still got sailboat fuel in them, and that's probably the most impressive part about this whole thing. Either that or the tires are so bad that they've hardened and they don't squat down even though they're empty. You know what, guys? Those could probably be retreaded again. No, you know what? That looks okay, Caitlin. Holy smokes, look at the rear end of this thing. Talk about a big booty Judy. Ooh, air brakes. Look at the actuators are way out here behind. This is an air brake system, so you pull the release inside there and it pushes this plunger forward on
Did this
both
have
sides
like
and
a
applies the mechanical brake.
A dump bed at one point?
I think it must have had a dump bed.
Ladies and gents, this is big.
So
this is useless.
It seems to have something of a Bluetooth muffler there. Yeah.
This is...
You said something a minute ago about, was it a dump bed? And I think it was.
Because this and the...
This is a PTO shaft.
Yeah.
Which has been homemade. You see the welds there, they splice that together. But I don't know if it was a dump bed. I mean, it might have been a dump bed at one point, but at another point, it had hookups for trailer brakes, which is what these are.
What is this?
This is a air tank.
For the...
Oh, 2 air tanks. Those would be for the air brakes.
Okay, I said that. I did say that.
And it looks like these are pneumatic. So this is a 2-speed rear end, Caitlin. So this is like works like a transfer case on a 4-wheel drive truck, except it does high and low gear on the rear end. So
Dad.
That thing is a monster.
There's a this. The
air horn?
Yes.
Crusty. Yes, there are air horns, which if we can make those work, we're definitely doing that. I don't think there's any air in the system.
I should still pull at it.
Oh man, look at all this stuff.
Are these flares?
Yes, those are road flares, just like I have on my 47, except there's no cool box to put them in.
2 in here.
Well, let's actually just pull that stuff out and put it here on the ground. And we'll just walk through what's in all this stuff. We're missing a few pieces of trim from the front end, so I'm hoping it is in that box.
This is what we took off on the front of mine.
It's an air cleaner.
Yes, that's what I said.
Oil bath air cleaner there. That looks like a... Well, I was going to say it looks like a green belt for a 5.9 Cummins, but that's actually for a garden lawnmower.
Nothing on that.
Looks like that has a purpose, though.
Yeah, it goes right there.
Oh,
You said pull everything out.
Put it back in there if it goes in the floor.
There's this.
What's that say?
REO Motors E. Lansing, Michigan, USA. Model, and then it says it, and then
E-22R. Is that a B or an RS?
that's a
B.
No,
It's a B.
It's a B.
it's E-22RB.
RB, yep.
Horsepower.
Certified net horsepower, 120.
18.
Is that 28, 26,
No,
25?
that's 20.
120? I think it's a zero.
22,000 pounds.
I don't know.
That's a lot of pounds.
22,000 pound GVW. That's a big truck. Wow.
Alright, there's the start button.
We're definitely keeping that. All right, let's look at this stuff out here we got. Hi, Marty.
Marty!
Marty, are you keeping the mice out of our truck?
What is foreshadowing?
Okay. Some seal beam headlights. Probably not for this vehicle.
We can use them on mine. Since we don't have glass for mine.
Two speedometers, so we can, you know, select your own mileage there.
This is...
Although they both have 37,000. They're within 400 miles of each other. What is that, attack? Yep. RPM gauge.
This is one of those things that...
That's a light switch. It's like an old GM style headlight switch. This looks like just a bunch of gauges and fittings. Ooh, the center cap for the steering wheel for the horn.
Oh.
That's the horn right there. So, oh, there's the 3 missing pieces of trim that come off the front. So we've got one that's still attached here. But this would be, there's that the other way around.
Oh, Dad.
There we go. That's that one.
This is a...
Oh, it's got the one blinker. We're missing this one over here.
Oh, this thing is huge.
What is this? Like a voltage regulator. All right. What else we got in here? That looks like somebody was trying to get this thing started. That's what that looks like. And that probably is what that is. The previous owner, he says the motor turns over.
Hey, you want to help me? I like the yellow better than the red, honestly.
Thing's had about 72 paint jobs. Grab that seat out of there.
Oh, there's the floor. Seat's still in shape.
Yeah, that leather right there could be reused.
Yeah, right there.
Found our first mouse nest.
Yuck, gross.
What's in there?
Nuts.
A lot of nuts, huh?
A lot of nuts.
For this truck being what it is, which is a 72-year-old truck, these cab corners are solid. The back of the cab is solid.
This goes all the way down. Low.
Hello! Hello! I'm an idiot! You're an idiot!
Fuel tank is probably, we can probably clean that up. The frame though, they seem to have added some sort of reinforcement here. And it looks like it just trapped water and junk. My guess is this frame is trashed and won't be any good to us. Ooh,
Look at.
I didn't know we got a free ball valve out of this deal.
Look at.
Nope, that's stuck. Somebody was stacking dimes on that drive shaft.
I don't really know what it says, but it's on both sides too.
It says Spicer,
Spacer.
use oil.
Marty. Marty.
That's really cool.
Marty.
So it is a, I've never seen one like that before. That's really cool. So instead of putting grease like through a grease zerk like this, these U-joints are actually, you back these off and you can fill that with oil. So that means it's a Spicer 2-speed rear end. That's pretty cool. You're still mic'd up, so every time you call for the cat over top of the video, it's picking it up perfectly.
Oops. Okay, can we open this door now?
We can try.
Why is there no handle on that side? There's a leaf in my shoe.
No. What these are, these look like parts of a seat. To me, looks like parts of a seat frame. Do you want to climb across there and see if you can open that door?
Your turn. Well, keep it PG.
Speaking of big booty Judy.
Lovely.
Floor's pretty solid. Well, except for this part over here. The door's stuck. Here's your fill neck for the
Look at that light up there.
fuel tank. Oh, that's cool.
It's like in perfect condition. That didn't work.
Gotta get up in here.
Hey guys. Ah, it's a mouse, Dad. A
Did
mouse.
you just run out of there?
Ah, come here.
Marty!
We missed it. A mouse ran out of this. Must be a nest up here.
What is foreshadowing?
Ha, 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 ha.
All right, so we're inside. Come on up in here, Caitlin. Show you what we're looking at here. That is worn down to a nub,
Right to the nub.
but the shift pattern is right here. And actually, this dash is in really pretty good shape, except for a little bit of crust over here where this corner's rotted out. But
Start. These are.
Start
we can
button.
clean these up.
oil pressure, temp, 79,000 miles.
Look at this. Shoom,
Probably
shoom,
379,000 miles.
shoom, shoom.
Fuel,
Shoom.
amps, turn
Shoom.
signal. That's kind of a cool
Beep,
turn
beep.
signal. This is a parking brake.
Holy cow! Somebody
These
really.
would be your PTO engagements. And this hose, Caitlin, has an air
Oh,
chuck
wait.
on the end of it.
What?
Trans is free. It's got an air chuck on the end of it. And it's hooked up to an air supply right here.
Wait a second. That is actually genius.
So off of his compressor, he could fill up his own tires, which is what a lot of guys do now, but that's pretty cool to find it set up that way
Smarty,
in this
smarty.
truck. Last paperwork we have on this on this truck is a title from 1976, and it was owned by a car dealership. So I'm thinking the car dealership was using it as a hauler, and yeah,
You need to do it. You need to hook it up here. It can't be hanging. It has to
Pretty
be hooked
cool.
up here. Woot woot. It's a big truck.
pour myself out of this truck. Let's look under the hood. So for those of you out there who know what this truck is, you know it's powered by the Gold Comet inline-six.
E-22.
Man.
No, but look.
Guys have been doing some
Can you
pusher
look?
work, maybe a little bit of dirt work, blade work.
It didn't work.
Well,
There's the thing that goes on right here. and
this
right here.
actually is probably for the one that goes in there.
Oh, well, I have it on video of me trying to put it in here.
Yeah, no.
I got pretty close. That didn't work.
I'm
Looks like a
guessing
smoker.
There'd be a rubber neck that goes through there. That's the seat back is still in there.
Wait. We should turn this into a grill.
That would look like a cool grill.
Wouldn't that be so cool?
It's gonna need a little bit of metal work. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. It's kind of a small hole. Make sure the camera's picking that up. That's gonna
Okay.
be,
How do we open this?
well, I don't know. I haven't opened the hood yet.
What is this? This looks weird. This looks funky.
Oh, look at this vent. Oh, there's the mouse.
It's a mouse!
It's so cute. Aw, Marty, come here.
Yeah, go get the murderous cat.
What is foreshadowing?
Marty.
It's a mouse.
Wonder if that mouse came with us when we moved it, or if it moved in from the field here.
Hey, wait,
Marty.
there's... Nope, that's not Marty.
Put her up there. Put her up there.
Did you see that mice? Mouse?
Go get it.
She's probably had to go in there.
Oh, Marty's already in there. Marty came up through the floor.
Marty, did you find it? Come here, Marty.
All right, we'll continue the mouse hunt later.
Fluffy. Did you get the mouse?
All right, let's see about how this hood opens. So, Gracie, I can see right here there's some old hood latches. This should,
I think.
it seems like it's binding a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, she got it. She got this.
Grace, get.
We're gonna have to put an advisory on this episode. Graphic content warning. Just hear it squeaking. I'm gonna hear that in my
Holding
dreams.
it by its tail. It's like the classic Cinderella, like where they hold the mice by on its tail.
Let's see if this.
Anyways.
I think this comes out.
Well, that's helpful. The whole thing comes up.
Grab this side. I think it's gonna come up and out. It looks like it feels like it's got its cam.
Wait. Oh wait.
Yeah, there it is. It's got a cam on it.
Somebody has to hold it though.
Nope, we won't. It's got a bar right here. 6 in a row, ready to tow. So we don't know, guys, if this is a 50 or a 51. He said it was a 50 in the ad. And then I got there and the for sale sign on the window said 51. And the reason for the confusion is actually that the title we have on it doesn't have a year on the title. So that title was issued in 1976. You know, they're doing things a little different back then, but it doesn't have a year on the title. So if you know what year this is, you'll have to let me know if there's a way I can tell for sure what this is. And there is an inline 6-cylinder Gold Comet.
This will be so much easier to work on.
Well, I got news for you, Caitlin. We're not going to keep that motor.
Okay. It's still easier to work on.
Here's the air compressor. Single barrel, big old fat single barrel carburetor there. I don't even know what that thing is. That would be a pain in the butt to probably rebuild. But if you look, I have been looking online, and the Gold Comet advertisements for this motor are really hilarious advertisements. So probably throw some of those up on the screen. But the Gold Comet inline-six was like the power plant of the day. But it's funny because 2 weeks ago I was in Iowa and I stopped at the Iowa Trucking Museum.
What?
I didn't tell you this?
Oh, you might have.
Yeah, I did. I showed you pictures.
Oh yeah.
So I'm at the Iowa Trucking Museum and I noticed I had seen that 120, 125 horse, whatever it is, before I left. And I noticed that a 1954 Diamond T truck had a Cummins big cam motor in it with 340 some horsepower. So in just a couple of years difference, you go from this body style and this being a big power plant to the Cummins and 300, 400, 500 horsepower trucks. What I'm saying is,
wait, is this green?
These Gold Comets were like the pinnacle for a short time, and then they were completely irrelevant from everything I can tell.
That's depressing.
But they're still a cool motor. And of course, inline sixes are super torquey, so even though it's got 120 horsepower, it's probably got like 800 foot-pounds of torque.
What you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Just kidding. It doesn't have that much torque. I think this has got brand new spark plugs in it. Does that look like brand new spark plugs to anybody else? What I do think we're going to do with this, Kaylin, is what we did with my 47 Chevy. So we're going to body swap this onto a modern chassis
They both died.
and put a Cummins in it, because I know how to do that. I'm familiar with that. It makes a lot of sense to me. If you guys haven't been watching the channel for a while, you know I'm more of a diesel guy than a gas guy.
Marty stole it.
Aw, Marty. Now Marty will kill it. He's...
Go, Marty, go.
Yeah.
Marty, that's rude. How rude.
Marty's got it handled. That cat can stay here for another day.
Reinforcements.
He earned his keep. Anyways, what I was saying is more familiar, more comfortable with the diesel setup than a gas setup. Because of that, I think what we're going to probably end up doing is pulling the cab and front clip. We'll sell the chassis with the running gear and motor and everything. And somebody else can mess with the Gold Comet stuff. I don't have any interest in messing with it, learning about it, knowing more about it. But somebody already knows what it is, I think would be happy to have it. So let's see if this thing actually will turn over. You want to do that, Caitlin? Let's grab a battery. We have one portable battery.
Where is it?
I think it might be in the box of the trailer the last time I used it. I don't know. We're going to find a battery and see if we can hook this thing up. Okay, so we've determined the last time we saw the battery, it was actually in the back of my wife's SUV. So we're going to have to steal the battery from my 47, which is in the fuel box. You guys see how clean this garage is? Got tired of stepping over our parts pile up here.
Frosty
Had some stuff to hang up.
the snowman. Why corncob pipe?
No, that is a spark plug wrench for a chainsaw. I don't know who Toko was, but we got his porcelain letters. And a bunch of license plates, which is not even close to all the license plates that I have owned over the years. I sold a lot of cars with plates on it.
Those
All my
ones down
old
there are the
stuff.
30s and 40s ones.
We got a bunch from the 30s and 40s and 50s up here. This one here, starting with ZL65 and going through the multiple sets of XU71. Those were all on this truck when I bought it. I do want to see if this thing will turn over today. Because if the guy, I don't know, there's no reason for a guy to put a new starter in, a rebuilt starter in, and pay to have a generator rebuilt. And then tell me that the motor was turning over and not have the motor turn over. That seems like the kind of dishonest thing somebody would do if they're selling a used car.
Maybe he's delusional.
No, he seemed like a nice guy. Actually seemed like a really nice guy. And I'm pretty good at reading people.
Me too. Me too.
That seems to be locked up. Did you get it back in gear? I think that was in gear.
Yawn.
Let me try bumping it with the starter now. So, I'll grab a wrench for both of those, Caitlin, and we'll pull it out there with some jumper cables. We'll just jump the starter off this battery. All right, so right back here is this new starter. See down there, we're just gonna jump the starter just to see if this will bump over. And I know there's, you know, you guys out there, don't do this with a motor that you know is stuck. The guy that I bought it from told us that he was turning it over with the starter. So we're gonna take his word. I guess I could just grab the fan. Wow! Let's see if this turns over. Let's get the cat off the wheel just to, so we don't have another tragic graphic. Get out of the wheel well.
Come here. What
She's
are you
ticked
doing?
off because Marty stole her mouse and she wants another one.
You want another one? Silly kitty. Come here.
All right, let's see if this does anything. Maybe my battery's dead.
That would make
The truck hasn't started in
Last time
5 months.
we rode in it was when I drove it.
Well, it's the next day, guys, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab the battery that we charged up overnight. Let's see if we can't get this thing started this morning. Caitlin, are you like super excited to be working on this truck today? She is, guys. Her quietness has always been a sign of excitement.
swollen.
Relax. There it goes. think we're gonna try and rotate this over by hand before we put that battery on again. I want to take a guy's word for it. The guy that sold us this truck was an exceptionally nice guy. And I want to take his word for it, but I want to get a wrench on this before we do anything. Let's... Doesn't seem to be moving, Caitlin.
You don't say.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
All right, so it's got brand new spark plugs in it, Caitlin. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if they filled the cylinders with oil or something and put new spark plugs in it. What do you say we pull those spark plugs real quick? Sure. See if we can crank it over with no compression.
Sure.
Okay, let's do that. Well, Caitlin's going to get the sockets. Oh, yeah. Those are just sitting on there. Those aren't not even clipped on. I know some of you watching this are thinking to yourself, listen, is it REO or REO? And I think you got to look at the bands that were named after this company. You know, one's REO Speedwagon. That's one answer. The other one's Diamond REO, which of course is named after the merger of Diamond T and REO. So I think it's REO. Like I said at the beginning, I don't actually know enough about these trucks to know what I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of it that I don't know. So, all right, here's Caitlin. Let's get these spark plugs out of here. The sixth spark plug is way back there in the corner. We're gonna need a universal joint or something to get it out, but I think we found what we need to know. This is the, assuming it's 1 through 6, this is the number 5 cylinder. Nice and clean, brand new. This is the number 4 cylinder, partially rusted. Not great news. Number 3, brand new. Number 2, brand new. And number 1, trashed. I'm gonna guess that this thing turned over when they got it, but they left the carburetor standing wide open. Here in Northern Ohio, it rains pretty much every afternoon, and that means that the number 1 intake valve is open, Caitlin, and moisture was condensating down there. So that would explain why we can't get it to turn over easy. And that means we are not going to be putting a battery on it to try and bump it. So good thing our battery was dead yesterday. All right, well, you know, putting a battery on an unknown vehicle and hitting the start button is kind of the official automotive YouTuber move. So I guess we're not technically official YouTubers yet, are we? Nope. Right. Well, guys, you know what we know about the 1950-51 REO now. It's not exactly as good as I hoped it would be, which reminds me, of course, of Romans chapter 3, verse 10, which tells us that there's no one righteous. Nope, not one. Nope. This thing is just not as good as we thought it was, but it's going to be great, which means this is the next project in the garage this winter. on Crossthread Garage and Salvage. So if you haven't already, make sure to like, share, subscribe, leave us a comment, tell us what you think we ought to do, what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. Caitlin's 41 Ford she wants to put on a 4-wheel drive platform, so I'm thinking we put this thing on that straight frame from the 41 Ford, and we build the suspension custom underneath it. We drop a Cummins and an Allison transmission in it, and we send it down the road to the next guy. Make a sweet custom hauler. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Crossthread Garage and Salvage.